Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Laurel Park here on Saturday. It's the 1st July 2023. Gonna look at the 8th race from Laurel, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean around the world. Let's look at the 8th race from Laurel, which is the Laurel Dash. It's going for a purse of $100,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses entered. Keep in mind, the 1 and 8 are MTOs, so 7 will go to the Laurel Park turf course, the distance of ground of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Laurel Park turf course. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs here. Rails are out at 27 feet. 87 feet. That's the only rail setting I've noticed that they run these 6 furlong races at. I wonder if they could run it at a little bit of a lower rail setting, because I think the extra furlong really, makes these races exciting. But they just don't cart enough of them at Laurel. That's what I'm trying to say. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 2-horse Midday Image. 2-5-4-6 for me in the superfecta. 2-5-4-6 super. Top selection 2-horse Midday Image. 7-year-old horse by midshipman David Jacobson trains, gets Cruz up in the saddle. The horse's most recent outing came the 1st of June at Belmont, 6 furlongs Widener turf course, an optional 80 claimer, and the horse went by 2 1/4 lengths that day. And he didn't have the best beginnings, but he went to the front end. He was a little bit wide, but when he hit the turn of foot, he took off clear, coming home with a 95 buyer. That was a very strong run. He's come back to stakes quality horses, but it's not the world's deepest race. I think he has the speed to win. In the last year and a half, he's run from distances as short as 5.5 furlongs to as long as 1.5 miles. He's become a little bit of a workhorse with the distances. First start for the Jacobson barn came on the 13th of April here at Laurel, 5.5 and optional 55. Went by 1 3/4 lengths, closing up from nowhere. He was stupidly wide, but he got the job done. A very good race for him there. And his last race around 2 turns came at Tampa last December, mile 16th, optional 32. He won by 1 1/4 lengths that day, and basically on the front and all throughout, he was quarter horsing it there, 109 flat to 3/4, but he had enough left in the tank to hold on. That was a very good, exciting run for him there. His most recent race against stakes quality horses came routing in the Oceanport at Monmouth last summer, where he finished 6 by 13 1/4 lengths that day, and he just didn't show up there. He placed before that on the 3rd of July, going a mile 16th at Laurel, and then, like I said, he ran a 1.5 miles. He ran the Pan American last April at Gulfstream, where he just did not run at all. He was with him early on, but then just completely crumbled. But since cutting back in trip, he's become a lot better horse. 9-5, I think he's a very likely winner. I think your second likeliest winner here is the number 5 horse, Smokin' Jay. Most recently an optional 175 at Churchill, going 5.5 on the Matt Wynn turf course. He finished second by 1 1/4 lengths that day, and he just missed, but he had a decent turn of foot that day. And then at Keelan in 5.5 allowance race, he finished 7 by 3.5 lengths, and he just kind of stalked. He needed something more, but again, I've seen worse race from him there. And then won the seasonal reappearance at Gulfstream quite nicely from the rail, winning by a length. A very good run. Making his Laurel debut, training well in Kentucky. I'll give him a shot on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Laurel, it's the Laurel Dash. Going to take the 2-horse Midday Image. Give kudos to the 5-horse Smokin' Jay. 2-5-4-6 Super. 2-5 in your multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.